As Shida and his friends walked in, I was agonizing over which size to pick for the memorial photo. I pointed at a massive poster on the wall. The staff member glanced at it and asked, "Are you choosing a large size like this to hang at home as a poster?" I waved my hand. Not quite. What would I hang a photo for? The staff member froze momentarily, seemingly searching for words to console me. Seeing her reaction, I burst out laughing. Just joking. I'm just a bit too full of myself. The tension on her face softened slightly. Outside, a loud voice boomed. "Bro. Moving this fast? Don't tell me you're registering for marriage the day after tomorrow." It was unmistakably the chattiest guy in Shida's crew. Another voice snapped at him. "What do you know? Love should flow naturally. If it clicks, they marry. Not like your ex. Dating 3 years and still splitting up. That just proves they weren't right for each other." But she was brutal. How could she do something that horrible? The loudmouth jumped in. The problem was it was so sudden. 1 second. Bam. "You're calling her sister-in-law. Who can keep up?" Soon after, a familiar male voice spoke slowly through the crowd. "Xiao Yu's almost here. Keep messing around, and I'll kick you all out." What a coincidence. The day I went to shoot a memorial photo, I ran into my ex and his new fiancé getting their engagement photos taken. It's not impossible, just too quick. We'd only broken up 2 months ago. And now he's engaged? After the breakup, he blocked me everywhere. I secretly used a friend's account to check his social media and learned that a month after we parted, his family set him up with a girl from a well-matched family. Word is her family's in healthcare. And she's gorgeous, sweet, with an air of elegance. My friend even told me, "Yao Yao, let him go. You two don't belong in the same world." She was right. There's no hope for us anymore. He hates me to the bone. 2 months later, he looked thinner, his hair longer, his face weary, probably dragged out of bed half asleep. But as if he sensed something, his sharp, dark eyes suddenly lifted and zeroed in on me. I quickly looked down, pretending to calmly talk with the staff, not daring to meet his gaze. "Brother Da, you all been waiting long? Grandma insisted I wear this jade bracelet before leaving. I think it's so outdated. But she kept saying it's lovely." A luxury car pulled up outside, and a girl with her hair in a neat bun stepped out from the back, walking toward Shida while playfully whining, her fair arm raised. The moment she appeared, it was like she brought a burst of light into the room, radiating a spoiled charm. Her skin glowed, her dark hair glossy and inviting. The green jade bracelet on her wrist wasn't gaudy, it only heightened her refined grace. Shida gave a soft hum, his usually cool tone warming slightly. "Just arrived. Go upstairs to pick photos and outfits." Upstairs was the VIP area, so they probably wouldn't cross paths with me again. I was about to exhale in relief when, after greeting Shida's friends, she linked arms with him and walked toward me, pointing at the photography section. "Oh my gosh, Master Lu Zi. I've been his fan forever and always wanted him to shoot my photos." Lu Zi, a genius photographer recently back in the country, young but already showered with international awards. Known for his bold, creative style, I had to book him 6 months in advance. Originally, I planned to shoot with Shida. But now it's just me, for my funeral. The staff quickly explained, "Sorry, Master Lu is only shooting for this lady today. He requires prior appointments." Hearing Shida call her Xiao Yu, my heart, despite my efforts to stay composed, skipped a beat. "Your friend?" His fiancée flashed a dazzling smile, tugging his arm. "Can you ask your friend to help me out?" She turned to me, eyes sparkling, pleading, "Pretty sister, can you let me have your slot?" I looked at Shida, then at her, took a deep breath, and said flatly, "No way." Xiao Yu's smile froze, like she'd been struck by lightning. Honestly, I didn't want to trouble a sweet girl like her. But I don't have much time left. I don't want regrets. Besides, me shooting a memorial photo while they shoot wedding photos? That feels a bit unlucky. While waiting for the photographer to prep, I drank too much coffee and needed the restroom. But as I turned into the hallway, a force grabbed my wrist, pulling me into a shadowy corner. Shida blocked my way, looking down at me, his voice heavy with pressure. "Cheng Yao Yao, give her the slot. Name your price." He thrust a bank card at me, his actions colder than his words. "Is this enough? If not, I'll add more." I stared at the card, my heart stinging, and repeated, I won't. Shida clenched his teeth. Stepping back, Cheng Yao Yao, Xiao Yu's grandma is ill. Her dying wish is to see her granddaughter engaged. Can't you have some compassion? I bowed my head, hiding the tears welling up, and stubbornly said, no. After a long silence, he let out a cold laugh. Of course. You've always been this heartless. No surprise there. I nodded. Yeah, after that incident, your friends all called me cruel, stupid, and worthless. It's only right you hate me. When photographer Lu Zi arrived, I'd steadied myself and sat quietly waiting. He was younger than I expected. Tall, with single-lidded eyes. Cheng Yao Yao. I nodded. He reviewed the shoot plan and outfits I wanted. Childhood, 2000s non-mainstream, and present day. 4 intriguing themes. He said. He already knew I was shooting memorial photos. 2 weeks ago, I'd shared my vision with him and asked if he could shoot earlier. If he wasn't willing, I'd cancel. Lu Zi replied swiftly via email, agreeing to finish in 5 days. All outdoors. Choose the locations and send them to me. The next morning, Lu Zi's Jeep Grand Cherokee, rugged and bold, waited downstairs. The back was cluttered with professional camera gear, and a makeup artist was there too. We drove 30 minutes to the small apartment I rented when dating Shida. Downstairs, the makeup artist did my makeup and changed my outfit. Shida waited by the car, and we went upstairs together. The key was hidden behind the electric meter. I stood on tiptoe to retrieve it. The first time Shida dragged his suitcase to my place, I didn't let him in. A rundown place like this isn't for a rich kid like you. He bent down, slung me over his shoulder, and strode inside. In the stifling summer, with only an old fan, the heat was unbearable. He held me close, his bangs damp with sweat, his low, husky voice captivating. Cheng Yao Yao, where can I enter in your life? Shida crashed into my world, catching me off guard. We were together 3 years. He once defied his family for me. I thought his family was just moderately well off. But one day, when he ran from home, I saw suited bodyguards chasing him in BMWs. That's when I realized letting him stay with me was a step down. But when he left, he didn't touch anything, not even his clothes or luggage. After Xiaomi's incident, Shida never returned to this apartment. Lu Zi suddenly asked, what's that on the balcony? I walked over, sat down, washed a bowl, filled it with water, and scooped food for the dog. My voice soft. It's all Xiaomi's. Xiao Mi was the Labrador retriever who'd been with Shida for 10 years. A memento from his late mother. But I didn't like dogs, not one bit. I was slightly allergic to their fur and had been bitten once. So Xiao Mi slept on the balcony. When Shida first brought it home, I despised it, griping that it was smelly, fat, ate too much, and made a mess. When he had classes, I'd walk it. Sometimes it ran too fast, nearly tripping me. Its tail would smack my hand, stinging. I grew even more irritated. I truly hated it. But that day, my foster father called me to meet him. I hadn't planned to bring Xiao Mi. But as I laced my shoes, it grabbed the leash in its mouth, whining to come. After a moment, I took it along. Halfway through our talk, I handed him 20 million Vietnamese dongs. He was stunned. I stepped forward, hugged him, and said, that's my thanks for raising me. Later, I noticed the leash was gone. Xiao Mi had slipped free. In a homeless man's tent nearby, I found Xiaomi's collar on a cutting board, bloodstains, and part of its body. My mind exploded. I grabbed a cleaver and lunged at the man. But police stopped me. Shida was away at a basketball tournament. When he returned and saw the bag in my hand, his voice broke. Where's Xiao Mi? My eyes were red, avoiding his gaze. When he saw Xiaomi's remains, he roared, charging at the culprit, beating him. The man's family screamed. Her dad said she hates dogs, so she killed it to eat. She ate dog meat as a kid. I tried to pull Shida back, but he recoiled, eyes bloodshot. I know this might not involve you, but please, don't touch me right now. I knew a scar had formed in his heart. For someone who loved dogs so much. How could he forgive a girlfriend who'd eaten dog meat and indirectly caused the death of his companion of 10 years? That day, he took Xiaomi's ashes and left. I didn't know where he went and didn't dare call. Back home, The apartment felt empty without Xiao Mi jumping to lick me. I hated it, so why were tears streaming down? The floor was strewn with its toys. I picked them up, washed them, and hung them to dry. I called Shida to ask where he buried Xiao Mi, wanting to bring its favorite food and toys. But his phone was off. A week later, he called to end things. After a long silence, I agreed, softly saying, "I'm sorry. I knew how much Xiao Mi meant to him, like family, and I'd caused it all." I packed Xiaomi's toys and placed them by the bed. Looking down, I could almost see it ignoring my protests. Leaping onto the bed, rolling over, wagging its tail. Click, click. The camera shutter sounded as a tear fell onto a toy. Lu Zi stepped forward, holding the green toy. "You said you hated dogs. Didn't like Xiao Mi. Yet you bought all its favorite toys. You knew it loved squeaky ones. Its favorite flavors. The kennel and bowl on the balcony are spotless. Not a speck of dirt. There's even a small blanket for it by the bed. And allergy meds by the headboard. Cheng Yao Yao, you just can't forgive yourself." For the Millennium theme, Lu Zi thought I'd take him to my university. But we went to Fushan Mental Hospital. My college years revolved around 3 places: school, part-time jobs, and this hospital. When my mother was about to be discharged, the hospital was abandoned, its interior largely untouched. We arrived at room 406. The restraints on the bed frame remained. The room cluttered. The neglected balcony walls were covered in green moss. The walls scrawled with faded formulas and drawings I still couldn't decipher. My mother was a madwoman. But I was the region's top student, acing the National College entrance exam. They called me a genius. But my mother was insane. She'd been ill since I was young, muttering incoherent phrases, scribbling in an old notebook. She hated me near my foster father. If he gave me candy, she'd slap me and knock it away. Back then, I hated her so much I wished she'd die. Before meeting Shida, I'd never had a birthday or tasted cake. I hated cake, but the morning she took her life, she was oddly lucid, gentle, and polite, like a TV mom. Somehow, she'd gotten an old-fashioned cake with 3 candles and said, "Happy birthday, little one." That night, police knocked, telling me to identify her body. She'd jumped. I crouched, touching a scrawled drawing in the corner. A woman in a long dress holding a little girl's hand. A smiling man to her left. I said calmly, maybe her death was for the best. The golden afternoon light split the room into light and shadow. Lu Zi snapped a photo of me kneeling, touching the drawing. He said softly, "But earlier, in your bag, I saw a torn and taped photo. You in a red dress, hugged by your mom, a tall man behind her. They're gathered around a round table, blowing out candles. Your mom kissed you like you were her greatest treasure." I didn't explain the photo, just walked to the window. The window was sealed with iron mesh. The light sliced into countless squares, like the shattered, patched lives of those locked here. Suddenly, I ran to the hallway, grabbed a fire axe, and returned, swinging it at the window. 1 strike, 2, 3, until a crack formed, until the fragmented light on the floor merged into a seamless flood of brightness. When the makeup artist finished my non-mainstream look, she couldn't help but laugh. Heavy eyeliner, fake lashes, colorful beaded necklaces. As she and Lu Zi went to the car for equipment, I clutched my stomach, doubling over. The pain hit again. Painkillers were useless. My fingers dug into my abdomen, gripping tightly. It took a while to subside. When Lu Zi and the team returned, I was sitting upright, waiting. As the makeup artist clipped curly cornrow-style hair onto me, she touched my forehead. "Not feeling well? You're burning up." I grabbed her wrist, saying it was fine. In the mirror, I wore a vibrant, candy-colored dress. I smiled along. The makeup artist asked curiously, "Why this style? Most people can't even look at their old clothes from back then. Did you ever dress like this?" I shook my head. "Never. My friend loved this style." Ha Kai Lin was my closest friend in the village. Her mother died giving birth to her on a dirt bed, wrapped in a tattered straw mat and buried. Days later, her father paid 200 yuan to buy a new wife from the next village. Kai Lin said she didn't like her stepmother, who was only 18. In 7th grade, after school, she dragged me to the grocery store to watch TV. On it, young people wore flashy clothes, hair teased, eyes sparkling. She said it was called non-mainstream. The next semester, Kai Lin stopped coming to school. I went to her house with the teacher. Her father sat in the yard, smoking a pipe, his yellowed teeth puffing smoke. School's useless for girls. She's got a brother now. And she doesn't like studying. Better marry her off early. From afar, I saw Kai Lin hiding behind the door, her stark black and white eyes vivid in the shadows. Later, my foster father also banned me from school. The principal and my teacher trekked far to our house. The teacher even offered her salary to fund my education through high school. My foster father relented. In 10th grade, I moved to the dorms. During winter break, I met Kai Lin at the village entrance. Her belly slightly swollen. We chatted, and I asked about it. She blushed, excited, wondering if it was a boy or girl. That's when I learned she'd been married off to the next village for 900 yuan. I felt sick. 900 yuan to buy a girl's life? Years ago, we'd sat together, gossiping about young girls in the village with swollen bellies. Kai Lin had said, "I'll work far away, wear bright dresses, dye my hair, and get cornrows." I still remember her flushed cheeks under the sun. Simple yet vibrant. As we parted, she took the beaded candy-colored bracelet from her wrist and put it on mine. Made by her, dazzling and vivid, she waved me off at the road, saying, "Study hard, keep moving forward." That winter break, I saved my allowance to buy her a plastic folder. But they told me Kai Lin was gone. Complications during childbirth. A boy. Is this her bracelet? The makeup artist touched it. I nodded, taking it off for her to see. She held it up, each plastic bead vibrant, though two were slightly yellowed despite my care. After makeup, we went to the city's largest park to shoot the non-mainstream set, leaving only the childhood theme. Lu Zi adjusted the camera. Where are we shooting? I opened a map, entered an address, feeling tired, my voice softening. There's probably a long story to tell. Want to hear it? Lu Zi started the car, glancing at me, draping a blanket over my legs. Take your time. I've got all the time to listen. You're the first client to let me combine a photo exhibition with a funeral. The car drove for 2 days and nights, my story unfolding in fragments. While I slept, Shi Da called, but I didn't answer. He texted, "Where are you? Let's talk." Worried I'd misunderstand, he added, "No one's home. I'm getting Xiaomi's stuff." Waking up, I saw the texts and missed calls. After thinking, I replied, "In the balcony cabinet, at a rest stop." After 2 bites of food, my stomach churned violently. I vomited. The makeup artist looked worried. "Let's go to the hospital." I waved her off. "Just side effects of the meds. Normal." Lu Zi poured me warm water. "Can you handle it?" I nodded but vomited again. The makeup artist helped me to the restroom. Outside, Lu Zi said, "Someone called." I thought it was my phone and answered. I looked at the screen. It was Shi Da. "Your ex kept asking where you are. Not calling back?" I closed my eyes, the stomach pain unrelenting. "No point. I'm leaving this world soon. Shi Da and I are on different paths. He has a bright future. Someone better by his side." Half an hour ago, he was at a club with friends. Xiao Yu scrolled her phone and gasped. "Wow, Lu Zi's work. One simple photo. And it's stunning." She showed Shi Da. "Look, it's the girl we met at the studio." The preview photos were breathtaking. Bound to make the exhibition a hit. Shi Da, cigarette in mouth, glanced at the phone, then froze. In the photo, the girl sat in the passenger seat, sunlight casting a golden glow on her face, covered in fine peach fuzz. Her eyes closed. She looked asleep, the image brimming with nostalgia and vulnerability. The caption read, "Her secret." A mix of bitterness and anger surged in him. He couldn't stay indifferent. Anything about her, he couldn't let go. He pretended to be aloof. But only he knew he hadn't forgotten her. He even imagined the tall, handsome photographer sitting close, capturing her every move through an ambiguous lens. Jealousy drove him mad. He couldn't stand another man near her. When he calmed down, he'd already called. Lu Zi answered. "Yao Yao's asleep." "Something up?" Calling her, "Yao Yao," so intimately. What was that? Fury rose. She was sleeping, and he answered so quickly. Were they together? Just one shoot. Why so many days? Lu Zi chuckled, almost taunting. "It takes time. At least someone sees how amazing she is. Unlike you." Before Shi Da could respond, the call ended. As we neared the destination, I felt more awake and began the final story. There was a man named Cheng Hai-yang, a contractor in Ca City. His wife, Chi Chong-feng, was a brilliant master's graduate from Ca University's architecture department. Beautiful and refined. 17 years ago, her parents died, leaving her mentally shattered. He took her everywhere for treatment. When she improved, he brought her and their daughter here for a trip. At a dirt road intersection, he got out to ask for directions. Locking the car carefully, their daughter was asleep. He told his wife to stay put, promising to return quickly. She nodded, saying she'd wait. But when he came back, his wife and daughter were gone. From that day, the world gained another madman. He spent his fortune searching. But with no traffic cameras back then, it was futile. From a spirited entrepreneur, he fell into ruin, followed by rumors. Some said he had another woman and abandoned his unstable wife and child. Others claimed he abused them, driving them away. He bore unbearable pain, selling his house and car. Searching everywhere, I pulled a crumpled newspaper from my bag, showing his story. In the photo, he rode a rickety tricycle plastered with missing person flyers. His hair and beard unkempt. His face haggard, like a man in his 50s. Later, a car accident crippled his leg, and he couldn't pedal anymore. He returned here, living in a makeshift plastic tent, surviving on scraps. He said he told his wife to wait here, but he took too long. So they vanished. Now it was his turn to wait. Someday, they'd return. I stepped out of the car. From afar, the tattered tent was gone, replaced by a pile of rusted metal sheets shaped into a bird and 3 steel figures. The outlines showed 2 adults holding hands with a child between them. I took a few steps, stopped, and gasped for breath, wearing the red dress from my childhood dreams. I slowly approached. A light rain began to fall. I reached out, touching the iron figure. Let's go home. Dad, Mom and I are taking you home. The necklace my mother wore now rested against the iron statue's arm. After the shoot, Lu Zi said, I'll print the photos in a few days. Curled up in the passenger seat, I fought not to groan in pain, shaking my head and handing him a letter. He opened it, saw my condition, and started the car. We're going to the hospital now. I shook my head. Please, take me home. I gave him the final destination, Changshan Cemetery. He looked at me, then drove. During the journey, I drifted in and out of consciousness. At the cemetery, I removed the wig. The makeup artist supported me, tears streaming down her face. I leaned against my mother's gravestone and sat. My father's remains had been found. Now resting beside her, a gentle breeze brushed my cheek. In a haze, I saw my parents holding hands, slowly approaching. They'd come to take me home. A week later, genius photographer Lu Zi held an exhibition titled Memories in the City. It was said to be the memorial and funeral photos of a former top scholar. Streamed live online, it exploded in popularity. Netizens buzzed. Everything's PR now. Huh? A top scholar's funeral? Is the body on display? It's Lu Zi's exhibition. His tickets are impossible to get. And now it's live for everyone. Memorial photos? Probably just black and white. Right? What's so special about this girl? Using her funeral photos for an exhibition, doesn't that feel unlucky? As the first photos appeared, comments shifted. So beautiful. You can tell she loved her dog. Her eyes break my heart. I have a dog too. I know how it feels to lose a pet. Some criticized. I saw her at the police station, arguing with some guys. An old man said she ate dog meat. All an act. If she loved dogs, why'd she eat dog meat before? Soon, a QR code next to a photo drew attention. Scanning it revealed text. At 8, I rescued a golden-furred puppy. It grew fast. I'd get rashes touching its fur, not knowing I was allergic. The puppy adored me because I saved meat for it. When it grew, it walked me to school and waited to pick me up. But one day, it didn't come. I searched the hills. At dinner, I picked at my rice. My foster father gave me a piece of meat. I ate it absent-mindedly, seeing his vile smile and the others. I realized I'd eaten my puppy. I learned why it died. My wretched foster father kept sneaking into my room. And my puppy guarded my bed, ready to protect me. The comments fell silent. Below was a list of animal protection organizations and a poll on animal welfare laws. The final line read, I couldn't protect my most important friend. But I believe you still have a chance. Comments flooded. God, I'm a tough guy. And I'm crying. This is her way of speaking for animals. I misjudged her. Vote for animal protection laws. Abusers are monsters. Hugging my pet tight. May they run free under the sun. At the studio, Shi Da accompanied Xiao Yu to pick up photos. The lobby screen was streaming Lu Zi's exhibition. He glanced at his phone. Xiao Yu tapped his shoulder. Brother Da, thanks for helping me. Grandma's in the hospital, on a ventilator. Showing her these photos today will let her rest in peace. He nodded. Their families, the Jis and Chis, were close. Xiao Yu and Shi Da were friends before she studied abroad. After returning this year, she dated someone, planning to marry, but caught him cheating before meeting her family. With her grandmother hospitalized, she couldn't break the news. So she asked Shi Da to help. He agreed. In the VIP room, a staff error projected someone else's photos. Seeing the face on the screen, Shi Da froze. It was Cheng Yao Yao. The staff apologized. About to unplug it. Wait. The photo showed her in their old apartment. In casual clothes. Hair in a messy bun. Like when they were together. She sat on the bed. Xiaomi's toys scattered around, plush bears. Chew toys. Mostly bought by her. He realized. Despite her complaints, she couldn't have hated Xiaomi. She researched the best brands for its food and treats. The balcony kennel was never used. She couldn't bear locking it up. Back then, he'd lashed out, blaming her for Xiaomi's death. Even suspecting she'd let it happen. Later, he thought her cold for not explaining why she met her foster father or chasing after him. If she'd softened, asked him to come back, he'd have dropped everything. But she didn't. Not even when they broke up. Friends said she didn't love him much. He drowned in alcohol, drove to their old apartment, and saw her living calmly. As if the breakup meant nothing. Only he was furious. But these photos felt like a farewell. Can you contact her? He asked. The staff said her photos were part of Lu Zi's public exhibition. Streaming live in the lobby. He rushed downstairs. The screen showed text and comments. The exhibition featured the mental hospital. Staring at her photo, he scanned the QR codes. Reading each story. One read, at 18, my foster father banned me from university. Arranging a marriage, I set a fire in the village. And in the chaos, my mother and I escaped with my teacher's help. We crossed a mountain in the dark. Why at night? The whole village was complicit in trafficking women and children. Eyes watching everywhere. We stumbled, falling countless times, not daring to stop. As we neared escape, they caught up. My teacher and mother swapped clothes to distract them. Splitting off, she gave me her salary card and said, Yao Yao, wait for me in City B. We escaped, but she died. Police said she fell off a cliff. But I don't believe it. I took my mother, changed our names, and reported it. They investigated but said my childhood memories weren't enough evidence. I'm not strong enough yet. But I'll wait, to clear my mother's and teacher's names. Shi Da kept watching, then rushed to his car. He had to find Lu Zi. Ask where she was, what happened, why he couldn't reach her. Why comments said she was dead. It was just a breakup. If she wouldn't yield, he would. He just needed her to listen. To give him a chance. At the exhibition, it was closed to the public. Only streamed online. But when he gave his name, the guard let him in. Inside, a sign read, Memories, Cheng Yao Yao's funeral exhibition. His hand trembled, clutching his phone. Yao Yao had few friends. When he met her at school, she was always alone, balancing classes, cafeteria meals, and part-time jobs. Along the long hallway, he viewed the photos and their stories. The story of the golden puppy made him realize he'd misjudged her over Xiaomi's death. Influenced by rumors, he learned about her friends, her past, how she volunteered at the mental hospital to care for her mother. She wrote, they say treasures emerge from deep mountains. But who knows if the mother of that treasure is a phoenix? Wings broken, caged in those hills? My mother deserved a better life. She wasn't rescued, she was kidnapped. Imprisoned, violated. Her notebook's first word was, run. In 1996, in Kuo Ha Village, Jinbei County, a man named Lu Sizhu illegally trafficked women and children. Knowing her mental illness, he forced himself on her. She bore 2 daughters, both lost. My mother was Qi Cheng Feng. My father Cheng Haiyang, and I am Cheng Yao Yao. Shi Da felt unsteady, overwhelmed by suffocating dread. He didn't know what stories awaited, only that an unprecedented panic engulfed him. At the childhood theme, the exhibition topped online charts. Millions watching live. A photo showed Yao Yao hugging her parents' statue. Below, a QR code led not to a story but to faces and details of abducted children. Li Jin-ning. Male. 2. Abducted 1982. Lu Ling Ling. 3. Abducted 1994. Ha An. 4. Abducted 1997. Zheng Fan. 2. Abducted 2001. The final photo, now black and white, showed her bald, curled in a fetal position underwater. Her bare body stark and powerful. The QR code read, "Darling, come home." Someone appeared before him. Shi Da looked up. It was Lu Zi. Like a drowning man grasping driftwood. Hope flared in his eyes. He grabbed Lu Zi's collar. Voice urgent. "Where's Cheng Yao Yao? What are you all doing? Tell her to see me. I need to talk to her." He paused, softening. "Please, let me see her." Lu Zi met his gaze coldly. When Shi Da saw the black mourning band on Lu Zi's shoulder, his eyes reddened. "This is a joke, right?" Lu Zi shook his head. Saying nothing yet everything, he stepped back, pulling a black cloth from a large poster. The black and white photo showed her holding sunflowers. A small flower tucked behind her ear. Smiling brightly, eyes alive. Shi Da refused to believe it. Lu Zi handed him papers, her death certificate, cremation record, and household registration cancellation. "She didn't want me to tell you about her. She wished you'd move forward. Live peacefully." Shi Da stared at her name on the papers, feeling his heart shatter. Tears soaked the page. He remembered her feverish, sobbing in a delirium. "My family's gone. Shi Da. I have no parents." He didn't know her family's story, only of her foster father, and thought she was delirious. He'd held her, feeding her water, promising, "You have me, I'm your family now." But he broke that promise. Clutching the papers, he slid down the wall. Pride gone, sobbing uncontrollably. She was his treasure, yet he'd abandoned her over a misunderstanding. Unaware of her illness, the hall was silent, save for his choked cries. After a long time, his hoarse voice asked, "Did she suffer when she passed?" Lu Zi hesitated, then said, "No, she went peacefully." He'd wanted to lash out at this man who failed to cherish her. But that wasn't her wish. She'd said life is fleeting. And in her final days, she let go of love and grudges. But this only deepened Shi Da's despair. Her medical record listed pancreatic cancer. His sister's husband died of it earlier that year. A healthy man wasted away in half a month. Racked with pain, their home echoed with his groans. In the end, his sister took him abroad for euthanasia. He'd begged her to end his suffering. How could Yao Yao not have suffered? Shi Da clutched his chest, nearly fainting from the suffocating grief. Lu Zi gave him a USB. "This is the non-profit site Yao Yao started to help trafficked women and children. She hoped it could continue with you." A week later, Shi Da saw news of Yao Yao's foster father and others arrested for trafficking and murder. That day she took Xiao Mi to meet him. She'd found key evidence, a pen from her teacher, hidden in his pocket. It had a recording function. After her teacher was pushed off a cliff, he'd found it in the grass and kept it. Yao Yao gave him money to lower his guard, then hugged him to steal the pen. It held clear evidence of their crimes. The girl her teacher died to save finally brought justice. The pen, like a boomerang, struck the heart of that sinful land years later. 4 years later, a reporter visited the head of a large charity aiding trafficked women and children. The reporter marveled at the lavish home. "Mr. Shi, your family has a business legacy. Why start charity work so young? Especially on trafficking?" He smiled faintly, eyes reddening as he looked at a black and white photo on a table. "I once promised to bring a girl home. But I failed. Now, I want to fulfill her wish. Helping others like her find their way home." The reporter nodded. He showed a photo of a girl. The site's founder was Cheng Yao Yao. "We plan to interview her today." The reporter recalled her funeral livestream, which skyrocketed awareness. Shi Da nodded. "Can you share more about her life?" "It's my honor." During Lunar New Year, Shi's mother urged Shi Ying to call his brother, pushing him to bring a girlfriend home. "He's not young anymore. Others his age have kids." Shi Ying, holding his 3-year-old daughter. Smiled vaguely. He did bring someone once. But you didn't approve. His mother paused, clutching her prayer beads, and retreated to her room. Near dinner time, Shi-da returned, shedding his coat. A soft, tiny figure bumped his leg, chirping, "Uncle, carry me." He lifted her, pinching her cheek. Shi Ying took her, urging him to wash up. After, Shi-da sat on the sofa, exhausted, and dozed off. In a haze, he was back in their old apartment with Yao Yao. Fresh out of college, wanting independence, he struggled to find work, dragging his tired body home. But opening the door, he'd see Yao Yao, who'd graduated a year earlier, in a bunny apron under warm kitchen light, cooking. Seeing him, she'd tiptoe, offering a spoonful of soup. He'd sip, the aroma melting his fatigue. He sat, watching her, afraid to speak, fearing the dream would vanish. She handed him chopsticks, her dimpled smile bright. "What's wrong? Eat. It won't taste good cold." He took a bite, tears spilling, choking. He sobbed, "Can you visit me every night? I miss you so much. I'm going crazy." She looked at him, crouched before him, touching his cheek. "Thank you for what you've done for me. But you have to move forward." A cold breeze passed, and she vanished. He reached for her, jerking awake. His niece, sucking her thumb, stood nearby. "Uncle, why are you crying?" He bowed his head, shoulders shaking, sobbing openly. Shi Ying carried his daughter away. Giving him space, she asked, "Mom, why's Uncle crying? No candy?" Shi Ying glanced back. "He misses your aunt. Her husband died when she was pregnant. After his funeral, everyone urged her to abort. But she couldn't. She needed a keepsake." Fireworks bloomed outside. Shi Ying wiped her tears, holding her daughter. "Yes, like I miss your dad. Some people are gone but live in our hearts forever. We'll never forget." Thank you for listening. Support us by liking and subscribing to Jadeverse Audio.